Welcome everybody. Mid-Murray Council would like to acknowledge and pay respect to the traditional custodians of the land, the Ngadjuri, Nawong, Nangaraku, Narkat, Nurrunjeri and Paramount peoples of the Mid-Murray lands and waters. It's upon their ancestral lands and waters that the Mid-Murray Council meets and operates, and Council pays respect to elders, past and present, and their spiritual beliefs that are of continuing importance to those First Nation peoples of today. Council further acknowledges the contributions and important role that First Nation peoples continue to play within the community, and we extend that respect to any peoples in attendance here today. Attendance, we have a full crew. Appointment of the presiding member. So I'll open that to the floor if anyone wants to nominate.
Yep. Please. So my only question is, apart from the one meeting a year, what else is involved in that? Anything else involved in that? Okay. Yeah. All right. I'll accept it.
Any further nominations?
I'd be really happy if you were prepared to do it. I think that would be great, but you know, it's up to you.
My only concern was I'm fairly time poor, but if it's not going to take much apart from this one meeting, then yeah, I'm happy to do it.
Yeah.
I'm happy to support that.
Okay, so Councillor Forrester, you're happy to move that Councillor Barber be appointed as presiding member for the Community Grants Assessment Committee for a period expiring November 2026 council elections. Councillor Tochik-McPeak, are you seconding that?
Yes.
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 Excellent. Any further discussion or questions on that? If not, I'll put that up to vote. All those in favour?
I get it. Okay.
And again, that is carried. Appointment of deputy presiding member.
Mandy.
So Councillor Forrester is nominating Mandy.
Yeah, I'll accept that.
You'll accept that nomination?
Yep.
Yeah, and I'll second that.
You'll second that? Excellent. That is great. So the motion is that Councillor Tochik-McPeak be appointed to the deputy presiding member of the Community Grants Assessment Committee for a period expiring at November 2026 council elections. All those in favour? Against? That is carried. Now I can hand over to the presiding member.
Oh, dang.
All the time, fair. Simone did it all day yesterday.
Sick of talking.
Okay, so I start going from point 6.
Yeah.
I'm assuming. In accordance with the terms of reference, the Community Grants Assessment Committee shall meet once a year on a day and time determined by Community Grants Assessment Committee, with meetings being conducted at the Morgan Council office. Information of minutes. This is the first meeting of the new committee, so previous minutes too.
Should we change it as Morgan? Do we need to just amend that to here? If that's where we meet, is that an amendment?
Yeah, because on one of the emails I had written out Canberra, and then an email came through saying Morgan, and I scrubbed it out for Morgan, then another email came through saying it's Canberra, I'll scrub it out again.
Yeah, so through the chair, you can change it to whatever office you wish, whatever you decide. And in regards to the schedule, like as in what day you want to meet, then that can be decided as well. So yeah, we just need to do that, and we do need to do a move and a seconder of that as well.
Okay. So I'll put a motion forward that we move the meeting to the Canberra office instead of the Melbourne office.
I'll second that.
All those in favour? Carry.
You have to say all those against. That makes me. You have to say all those against, even though everyone's put that.
Okay.
She makes me.
Okay, so point 8, declaration of interest. So anybody that has a conflict of interest to declare.
Yes, I declared it earlier on the conflict of interest form that I did not assess the application by show committee because I go to that meeting. Assess it.
I also have a declaration of interest. I am a current committee member of the Pernon, Cornwall and Districts Progress Association. So I did not evaluate their application.
No, I've got no conflict of interest because Leanne and I did clarify that when I had the meeting in the Morgan office. Leanne rang Vicky, so.
Deputations, we have Neil. Item 10.1, financial report. Recommendation is a report be received. Mover and seconder for that motion.
We've got a spare copy of there because this won't download.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, thank you.
Yep.
So all those in favour? All those against? It's carried. Item 10.2, small community grants. The recommendation is point 1 that the report be received, and point 2 in accordance with the weighting assessment criteria. The Community Grants Assessment Committee recommend that the following small community grant applications be approved.
So through the chair, that is our overall grants assessment summary up there. As you work through the process of which ones you would like to approve and decline, Tash will highlight in green for the ones that you're going to approve and in red for the ones that you're going to decline. And then there'll be a value that will pop up at the top there. And then I can keep a tally as well.
Through the chair, can I propose, is this the time at which we could go into discussion so that we can maybe discuss that small community grants section and then
I will be agreeing to
and
that,
then
yes.
vote?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also recording.
Do we have to vote on that? Yes, all those in favour that we go into discussion?
I'll second that.
Favour? Those against? Right, so we go through what we decided to approve and decline.
So through the chair, after discussions were had around the small community grants, an approved amount for South Punyaring Progress Association to the value of $500. Just maybe slow down if you need me to touch. Cadell Community and Tourist Association was declined. Is there any further comment?
I think because it didn't meet the policy and that it had already been ordered and that it was maintenance of a previous grant, unfortunately, but it was a really good project and we hope it can still go ahead.
Manham and District History Association approved. Morgan Bowling Club approved.
Yes.
Manham Dragon Boat Club approved. Angus Valley Recreation Hall and Tennis Club approved. Canberra Agricultural Museum was declined. Kalute Landing Progress Association approved. Walker Flat District Community Hall approved. And Manham Bowling Club approved to the value of $465. And for your information, I'll just do a total on what you've spent so far. Total value was $6,441.94. So that's that, and then we'll see the
Okay, so can I have someone move that we agree with the applications approved for these small community grants? I have a second in that, please.
Yeah.
All those in favour? All those against? That's carried. Okay, we'll move on to item 10.3, community events grants. The recommendation is, point 1, the report be received. Point 2, in accordance with the weighting assessment criteria, the Community Grant Assessment Committee recommend that the following community event grant applications be approved.
We're going to suspend again and have a little chat.
I was going to say you have to suspend to have a discussion. Yes, all those in
Yes,
favour?
but I think it was a good way to
Yeah,
get going.
I think so. Yeah. Into the meeting.
Yes.
Scroll through here to the next item.
We'll have to approve that. Page 114. That's not the same thing.
Okay, so the recommendation, the report be received and in accordance with the weighting assessment criteria, the Community Grants Assessment Committee recommended the following community event grant applications be approved. All those in,
Oh,
sorry,
we'll go through
sorry, go
this,
through
yeah.
the list. Thank you.
Okay, so through the chair, after discussions on the community event grants submissions, South Connemara Progress Association has been declined. The Lions Club of Morgan and Districts has been approved. The Morgan Small Bore Rifle Club has been approved. Are there any further comments in regards to that?
Yeah, there's just a concern by the committee that maybe the event is relying on the community grant to actually put the event on. And we're just hoping that in the future they can be more financially self-sufficient, I suppose. Because they're in the application, there's evidence that there's been consecutive years that they've applied for grants to hold the event. So it's just a concern for the committee that it's not going to.
So just continuing through the chair, Manham Agricultural Society approved. And Kalute Landing Progress Association declined. And just a total for item 10.3. We've got it on the screen, thanks Tash, is 6,000.
So you read that vote. So all those in favour of,
I'll start a move.
oh, sorry, no, a mover on the decisions were made on the second. All those in favour? All those against?
I was checking to make you saw you put your hand up there.
Always.
Fine.
180.
Okay, item 10.4, the community projects grant. The recommendation is point 1, that the report be received, and point 2, in accordance with the weighting assessment criteria, the Community Grants Assessment Committee recommend that the following community project grant applications be approved. I'll move that we go into discussion at this point in time. All those in favour? Okay, so just to revise, the recommendation is point 1, the report be received. Point 2, in accordance with the weighting assessment criteria, the Community Grants Assessment Committee recommend that the following community project grant applications be approved. You just go through them for me, please, there.
Through the chair, in regards to the community project grant applications, Swan Reach Soldiers Memorial Bowling Club approved. Manham Golf Club approved. Caton Lindsay Evans Memorial Park approved to the value of 3,300.
And that's based on the place.
Blanchetown District Hall approved. Sorry, that's okay. I'll just slow down. Blanchetown's approved, yes. The Morgan Community Development Tourism Association declined.
And I guess.
Yeah, and the reason for that is because they don't have a place on the property.
But we look forward to the application next year. If they do.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Cadell Bowling Club declined.
Yeah, for the same reason as previous, there's no current lease on the property.
And on Cornwall and District Progress Association declined. Alright. Morgan's Small Bore Rifle Club approved to the value of 3,000. Kalute Landing Progress Association. Okay. It's also declined. This one's declined, yes. Blanchetown Combined Sporting Body approved.
We want to say that's subject to development approval.
Adventist Development and Relief Agency approved to the value of $2,000.
More.
And the Lutheran Church Cambrai was approved.
Again, that would need development application.
So do I have a mover and a seconder on that?
It's mine first, this one.
And all those in favour? All those against? It's carried. Now I guess I'll just
Page 345.
declare the meeting over now, John.
Through the chair, were there any more comments around any changes to policy
Yes.
procedure that you wanted to put forward at the meeting?
Yes, so.
I just think
yes.
it'd be good to have an investigation into whether an EOI process could happen next time rather than having full applications that might not be met right at the start. And then a second round similar to what the federal government's doing, just to sort of hopefully cut down on some of the work. What else do we have? Just some extra points on, have you already spent this money?
Yeah, there are certain provisions for making applications low priority or not actually meeting the criterion. And we urge applicants to read the policy and procedure because of those factors.
And also, we discussed moving forward that any community groups that have consistently received grants over a number of years would be moved lower. moved down in priority. Yeah.
I don't necessarily agree with that because, like, say the Northern Small Bore Rice Club, I'm just using that for an example. So if they can keep expanding and they are putting in a lot of man hours as well in both areas. So I think that's got to be really looked at before you put it in concrete.
So I guess you're not saying they're not going to be approved, but
Yeah.
the priorities are, so if you've got someone, a new sporting club coming out that might need more help from them, so it's sort of putting a little bit of extra responsibility on them to try and get funds from elsewhere, and as they get bigger, they can get different grants.
So I guess the point we're trying to make is that if there's a community group that's receiving ongoing grant applications or funding, that we don't then want other groups to miss out because this group's relying on this funding each year. So we just want to make sure it's a fair and even balance between the community.
Because apart from anything else, there's always more applications than we can fund.
Yeah.
So yes, decisions have to be made.
So do we need to move a motion on what Simone was saying?
Through the chair, if you want to make some sort of change to the policy and procedure, then they would need a motion to go forward, which will then go to council in the report.
Well, I'm just wondering if this is the time, if we're already going to be looking at it, maybe we could bring it up in a council meeting when we do review the grants, because like I said, that was on high priority to be reviewed. So maybe we can just hold it off till then. If you guys all agree, because no point you guys going and doing all that work if it can get quashed or, yeah.
Because the minutes of this meeting will be presented to council.
Yeah, but that's just mainly for these grants. So if we get them to go and do some work on the policy and then 6 months' time we close down all community or decide that, I don't know what the recommendation is going to be to council, but it's a lot of work. It might not be worth it. But we can bring it up in council meeting, not this, when this comes up, but when the review of community grants comes up, I think it's worth us thinking about that.
So this stage, as long as it's noted in the minutes of the meeting.
Yeah, and the staff can start thinking about it and get ideas, or that could be part of the review. Yeah, maybe it's an easier way to save time and money or something.
Okay, so item 10.5, community grants weighting assessment. The recommendation is that the report be received. And I have someone move and second that, please.
I'll move it.
I'll second.
All those in favour? All those against? That is carried. Thank you. I declare the meeting closed.